Yeah. Team, what is happening? Welcome back to FPL Double Pivot. Today it's time for Game Week 8 team matchups. It's been a long international break, a very weary long one, and I, for one, are glad we're back. Kieran's also very, very glad. Kieran, it's been a hectic week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm glad to be back, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm flustered. I think you and I, Shane, were both running around manically at the moment. And that's how it's felt, right? It's felt as if there's been nothing FPL related for sort of week and a half, feet up. And then everyone's posting stuff right now. It's overwhelming. And I don't know about you. I left on Game Week 7 with like, this is all good. I was at Meets. It was a great time. And then gets to Game Week 8 and I'm now going, I need to use all my transfers. I need to use extra transfers. I'm itching to do something. So good to be catching up with you, Shane. One thing I will say is credit to everyone who is joining us. I know we've already got Jackie in here, Claire, Jack.
Yes.
And Pubcast, thank you for joining us. Why are you not watching the Traitors, first of all? Like, you're mental to be watching us instead of the Traitors. I'm fuming that Shane scheduled it for while the Traitors is on. So I'm going to have to avoid Twitter.
I don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Right, so that's the end of today's stream, everyone. Gary, if you want to tag it, we can't be friends. There's no way we can be friends. Like, The Traitors is the greatest TV game show ever made. Ever made. Oh, well, after FPL Tension, of course. But
obviously, it's a close second. But no, you're right, Kieran. Everyone went on the national break and we're like, do you know what? I know what I'm doing. I've already made a move, which you'll see in a minute. But I know what I'm doing. I'm set. And then a lot started creeping in, and namely, we'll come into this in a minute, we've become into the realms of just craziness because people are saying DCL is a good pick. That's the stage we're at, Kieran. Do you know what I mean? It's Game Week 8 and we're talking about DCL already, but we'll come into
it. Yeah, let's wait for DCL. It's too early for DCL. It's way too early for DCL. Let's shall we start off by saying hi to the people that are mental enough to be watching us?
Oh, well yeah, and thank you for that. I have.
You know, side profile. Go on, give us a 360. Let's check the trim out. Let's have a look at the back. No, I want to see the back of your head. I'm used to it. Lovely.
I can't go around that much.
When I've been around you seem. Oh, I won't say the next part. So yeah, look, let's just run through some of the early ones that are in here. So Gary kicked it off with us. We've got Jack, we've got Claire, we've got Jackie, we've got Gary again. We've got Andrew, obviously, stopping by, and thanks for stopping by whilst you're at work, and really appreciate it. Yes. We've got me. Oh, hang on, we didn't need that one.
We've got me. Yeah, we've got me. Yeah. Thanks very much for stopping by, especially on when there's obviously a big TV thing on. I don't know. I'm out of touch.
Who is Alan Carr going to kill next? We all need to know. Shane,
we need to know.
If I told you could see Alan Carr and Jonathan Ross up against Stephen Fry. That is television, mate.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I didn't know it was a celebrity one. Obviously.
It's celebrity. And you know what I like even more about it, right? So I'm a celebrity, all of this. They get paid like $1 million or whatever to go on it.
Yeah.
Every single person on Celebrity Traitors has got the exact same flat fee of 40k, which to celebrities, that's like what? 10, 20 quid, maybe 100 quid?
Probably.
But that's how much, and that's also going away to Scotland, first of all, right? 40 grand to go to Scotland, dangerous.
Where is it? Whereabout?
It's in a castle.
Contrary to popular belief, Kieran, we don't all live in castles here. I mean, I would like that. I would like the concept of that, an idea of that. But yeah,
I will tell you, Traitors is filmed at Ardros Castle.
Oh, okay.
25 miles north of Inverness. The castle
now I'm interested.
Now you're interested. And 40 grand for them to go to Scotland, take time off their actual jobs, right? And we're talking like 4, 5, 6 nights for them. Yeah. That shows how good this game is, that these people are going, Yeah, I want to play.
Well, anyway, I tell you what, we better get the show started so we can get away and watch traitors. Listen, we've got loads coming up today. We're going to review how Game Week 7 went. We're going to talk team matchups for Game Week 8 and our predictions. We're going to see who's winning in the scores there. And Shane had a not bad week as well, Kieran. We're going to be talking teams, plus teams for Game Week 8. We're going to have
see who's winning in FPL.
Yeah, well, yeah. And, is that important? Yeah, that is important. And then we've got a Discomfort Zone. We've got Veterans Vision. And then we'll finish off with any Q&A from the guys and girls that so nicely are watching. But, yeah, as we start, actually, we are going to start. Or I'll try to start anyway. It's kind of like a thank you, Kieran, really. I've taken you off the screen there, mate. Oh.
I'm going to take this comment off the screen as well for a second then, because probably not the right time if you're doing a thank you with Gary talking about his balls getting chopped off by his own mother. But before you do that, let's just quickly say hi to Coleman, Sartandry, who have also jumped in.
Yes, and just finish off, Colm Burglar, Lord Shane of Inverness. I like that. I'd like to be a lord. Yeah, but like I'm saying, recently, Kieran, hey, the pod's been going well, and really, it's probably for that man on the left, for Andy, who took your seat for a night. But again, I'm kind of just covering over what we've done. But we've done a Game Week 1 to 7 review, an ultimate review, where we went through every single team, broken down into 3 parts. And Andy was nice enough to come on and do the first part, and it went really well, Kieran, didn't it? Went really well. Really enjoyed it. And Andy's just professional, isn't he?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? It was really nice to see.
He's a lovely guy,
and I'm sure it was the same for everyone else that normally watches us. It was nice to have like sensible chat from someone for a change.
Kieran, come on, we're going to be getting the pod bigger here. We do have sensible chat now and again. This flits of it. But no, Andy from Scout, he does Scoutcast, obviously part of FF Scout, and he does, new presenting with us for Black Box. It was lovely. He was absolutely lovely, and he stole the show, Kieran. But that's what he's up there for. Do you know what I mean? No, he's a really nice guy, and hopefully he'll be back on. Then we had
go back a second. Go back a second on that one.
Go back. You're still looking at Andy's face, yeah?
Well, I'm looking at both. Is there a better looking duo that were on stream?
Oh, stop it! I'm going to specifically clip that just for the. Oh, I don't know. The algorithm did it. It wasn't me. I'm sure Andy will appreciate that. But yeah, we done him part 1. He was fantastic, and in part 2 we had Vincenzo, which I've been watching his videos for a while. So have you, Kieran, and very, very, very mate. Tactically, he's a very. I was going to say interesting. Of course, he's interesting, but he's a very knowledgeable guy, and he was on for part 2, and then we've got part 3 coming up with a mystery guest. So keep an eye out for that. But again, thank you for your continued support, Kieran. We're almost up to 600 subscribers, and about a week and a half ago we were about 260. So that's probably the Andy effect, mate. That's probably the Andy effect.
I was going to say, it's been a week and a half where I've not been involved in anything, and you've been firing out shorts, you've been doing stuff with other people. So I'm getting the message, right? Our viewership increases when I'm not here.
Is that what it is? That's why I got the haircut. Do you know what? That's what someone was going to say just before we start. Is I'm really enjoying like the process of doing content creation and learning stuff, and it's a bit of a slog. A lot of people put a lot of work in, probably more than me and you, Kieran. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process, mate. But that was number 2. And do you know what? Let's just go straight into teams, because that's what gives the people what they want, Kieran. We're going to start off with the best score. Was yours. Well done. Talk me through your team, mate. 78 points. Just a little bit more than me. Yeah, talk me through how you did
it. So I did nothing. I made no moves. I was itching. To switch Cody Gakpo to Eze. And I didn't.
Oh, the Ezes coming
and
into teams.
I was at Meets. Great people at Meets. Good to see people like Fran, to see, I've forgotten all the names now. So Simon was there, Simon at FPL Analytics, Sim, Nima, Dan fella. Yeah, really, really good to see all of them. And the Arsenal game obviously happened before the Liverpool game. And Eze gets a return. And I'm like, friggin' knew I should have done it. I knew I should have done it. And then Cody got more points than him. So, yeah, look, happy with that. 5 at the back. Same for what? I think we're about week 5 or 6 of me playing 5 at the back.
You have been.
Once again, double Palace, double Bournemouth. That'll be interesting this week. Yeah, they did okay. Munoz, fine. well, Munoz and Gabriel doing pretty well out of that back four. Cody Gakpo got 7. I guess we'll read it out because we're going to try and put this back on podcast. But I had Petrovic in goal, Virgil, Gabriel, Munoz, and Fizzy Water, aka Lacroix. Senesi, Cody Gakpo, Bruno Fernandes, Saka, Semenyo, and Erling Haaland. And then on my bench was Dubravka, Bruta, Fulkrug, and Gui. So again, like same bench that it's been week in, week out. And look, it seems to be working, which is why I left game week 7 saying, roll again. Not much in that, but again, it's Semenyo and Haaland, right?
Yeah, no, that's especially when you're starting the Friday night off. And it seems so long ago that 18-pointer, doesn't it? But how many free transfers have you built up now?
Oh, only 2.
Oh, okay. But still.
But I've been changing my starting 11, right? So the bench has just stayed whatever. It's been more at that point. So I bought in... don't even know who I bought in recently. That's the weird thing looking at it. Gabriel came in a couple of weeks ago. I think that would be it.
No, it's a good team. And there's been a lot of talk recently about 5 at the back, 4 at the back, formations changing. I think most people are playing 4 at the back now with the value for money, the C-bit defenders and stuff. You still need that balance, like I'm saying, that you've got. Attacking midfielders. Munoz was really unlucky. He was on a 14-pointer. One thing I did bring up, though, was when the game was at 1-1, Munoz had scored, he still wasn't in the bonus, which is something to keep an eye on and something that maybe the defenders are OP'd this year. Palace are an interesting one. It's something on Veterans Vision I'm going to come into, mate. But yeah, no, it's a solid score, mate. Another green arrow. How many? In fact, you've had all green arrows, didn't you? All season.
Well, I think I kicked the season off with probably like an 8 million rank, and we're now up to the dizzying heights of a sort of 400k.
I see what you're doing. Start the game week really bad, start the season really bad, and then just green. I like it. No, it's good. It's good, teammate. We'll come on to what we're doing, but it's good. From yours onto mine, you just picked me. 78. I got 74. For podcast, I've got Petrovic and Senesi double Bournemouth defence. I felt pretty hard done by that, Kieran. That Fulham goal, because Fulham were terrible. Obviously, they were missing two strikers and they played King up top. But Sessegnon, it was a good goal, but it was a bit poor of Bournemouth to let that in. And then after that, Semenyo was just like, do you know what? Just give me the ball. And then he went and got his 18-pointer. I did say to Trigg, though, because, Trigg doesn't have him. Quite a few people don't have him. And until 75 minutes, he wasn't really on anything. But as we said, Semenyo's taking a step up. He's taking a level up. And he's a kind of player that can kind of turn games on their head now. So, yeah, if you've not got him, I think definitely think about getting him. I've got two attacking midfielders and 2 C-bit. C-bit didn't do that well this week. Senesi actually didn't get one for a change. Virgil van Dijk, should have come out before. I was slow in the move, mate. Pedro Porro, he got an assist, which is good because it's about time coming. Munoz got a goal. In the midfield, like I was saying already, had Semenyo. Gakpo scored, which was good. It was great to see. He was only 10% owned. Gordon let me down. And then there was a penalty and he was off the field. Unfortunate, it's one of those things. However, he is a 65, 70-minute man, so you take that risk. Reinders with nothing, but he was unfortunate. He should have got something. And Eze with an assist. Eze missed from 5 yards out, Kieran. I'm sure you've probably seen that. But he's got a haul coming. And I've been saying at the start of the week, and it's been building. And people now want Eze in. I want the Eze Saka double up, which I've been shouting for a while. And then obviously the robot up front, mate, his goal scoring is unreal, really. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Kieran? I just like those apples.
Look, it's a good team. I think it's a good team. And I think, Senesi getting the early sub, it's going to happen time to time, right? Like, you're not going to go... No one was expecting 38 out of 38 game weeks of DEFCON. Right? It's whatever, exactly. Right? It's one of those. I think Semenyo, like you said, its haul at the end was very nice. Yeah, you've got a solid team. Yeah, looks fine. We've had a few more people join whilst we've been talking on this. Let's have a quick look. So we've had Onions is in the chat. We've got Thomas has joined us. We have
Big Triggs. Triggs is in. He's in. He's coming on the show, Kieran. He's coming on the FDR show next Friday as well. Big Paul. Paul, how are you doing, mate? I done a short with Paul. Well, not actually him. I had his face on there. Done really well. Probably because Paul's face is up there instead of mine, but no, it was good. They're all in tonight, Kieran. They're all in tonight. What they've done is they've recorded traitors and be like, I can't miss FPL double pivot. And I thank you for that. Yeah, so that's my team. Yeah, and we love each and every one here. Right, we'll go into.
No, I might do after this. I might go live to do a traitors reaction, so that everyone that's already watched it can watch me on stream. Going, no way! Why would you kill?
But then but you get a lot more on that one. But yeah. So we'll talk about last week. We already talked about the Bournemouth game. It was a good one. Do you know what I like, Kieran? Like I've been saying at the start of the season, we've got a Friday game. We've got like an early Saturday game, Saturday 3:00, Saturday evening. And then a big fixture list on Sunday.
There wasn't a Saturday evening one. There wasn't a Saturday evening, to be clear.
No, Chelsea Liverpool was 5:30.
Yeah, that's not evening. Oh. No, but we've been going like 5:30, 8 p.m, right? So when you go to the FPL meeting, it would have been great to have had that again.
Obviously it's an hour later in Scotland with the time difference and stuff. But yeah, no, it was so we covered Bournemouth. What ones kind of jumped out at you? Did you watch any? I watched the early.
I only want to spend like a couple of minutes on this because this is so long ago, right?
It's long ago, isn't it?
Lots of 2-0s, lots of 2-1s. That's my summary of that game week. Lots of 2-0s, lots of 2-1s. 4 clean sheets from City, Arsenal, United, and Newcastle. Let's be honest, we think Arsenal and Newcastle are up there with the best defences. Nice to see them both getting clean sheets. No one smashed it. Bournemouth got the most amount of goals because Fulham are Fulham.
Yeah, and we'll come on to them soon, actually. And yeah, like I said, I mean, there wasn't too much. Again, it feels ages ago, so we won't spend long on it. But the key points for me were really Man City only winning 1-0 at Brentford. Still finding it a bit difficult to break those teams down. Everton stopping Palace and ending their record even when they were 1-0 down. And the Chelsea-Liverpool game as well for the 3rd defeat in a row, which has repercussions for the season. And again, talking to your team, Kieran, Arsenal, maybe last year they would find that a bit more difficult. Maybe a 1-1, comfortable 2-0, mate, and it's good signs for the season. Do you want to do your section yet?
I'm getting into this quick. I like it. Right, what was I going to talk about? What was the discomfort? And that's an awful picture, right? Why is it an Arsenal fan crying for starters?
Well, he's in discomfort. AI had 3 commands and it followed my commands.
Right, but okay. Anyone watching this, I'm going to break ChatGPT for you right now. Okay, Shane, I want you to do this as well, whether it's on your phone or your computer. Go onto ChatGPT and ask it: is there an emoji of a seahorse?
Is something going to come up that I've got to verify? No,
it's completely safe. This is completely safe. For a bit of fun, type in on ChatGPT. Is there a seahorse emoji?
What, right now?
Yeah, I want everyone to do it. We're doing this live.
This is what the viewers come for. Do you know what I mean? It's not FPL. Is there a what? Is there a seahorse?
Is there a seahorse emoji?
Okay. If I get my phone back,
that's
it.
No, that's it.
Okay, it's kind of talking to itself constantly. Yeah, AI's talking to itself and taking over.
So the reason why is because again, look, I work in AI, part of the role I do, but basically LLMs like ChatGPT are, interesting because they try and give you an answer. And if you're aware of the Mandela effect, which I'm sure you are, Shane, then Mandela effect leads to lots of Reddit posts about said things. And there are hundreds of Reddit posts about a seahorse emoji of people claiming there was a seahorse emoji that's vanished. There never was a seahorse emoji, but ChatGPT therefore gets lost in itself because there's so much confirmation that there was a seahorse emoji that it tries to find one and then it just talks to itself for infinity. It will not stop unless you press stop or unless you don't have the pro version, basically. So bit of fun there. So that's why we've gone off topic here, but that's why I'm going, what's wrong with this image? It doesn't understand discomfort. Anyone who knows anything is that when you seek discomfort, that's when you exceed. It's when you grow. You should always seek discomfort. That's why I'm here for you. But look, discomfort zone this week is it a discomfort zone or is it more of an observation? I guess it's more of an observation. Football's changed, right? And there's been a lot of attention paid to long throws, Shane's vanished. It's just me. Oh, me and the camera. There's lots of conversations going on about long throws and why have they all come back in. Something else has happened. That's too big. Shane, switch it back. God, it's getting worse each time he clicks a button. This is hideous. There have been so many other developments. We used to have people... I've lost my train of thought here with you doing funny things with the pictures. Sorry. We used to see teams trying to get through the high press, right? We see so many Premier League teams now putting a high press. They've got the players to be able to do so. And we used to see teams trying to play through it. They don't try and play through it anymore. And if you look at a lot of the teams in the Premier League, they have fuck off big men up front, right? So the new gameplay, when you're trying to get out of the back against high press teams like an Arsenal, is no longer to pass it around and instead to go long. Now, if you go long to your target man, he's going to be in a duel, given an opportunity for a centre-back, using the above-average guy's dogs and cats, the dog of the centre-back who likes to go after things, to go and win that duel and clear the ball or intercept the long ball, which is good for DEFCON. Which is why, if we take a look at Gabriel and he's suddenly getting DEFCON because Calafiori is playing striker and attacking mid and anywhere he actually wants to, partly, but it's also because West Ham have a big man that they were playing the ball to. Newcastle have a big man they were playing the ball to. It is a new thing. So don't write off some of the centre-backs from last year that weren't great for DEFCON from some of the better teams, because the better teams are going to see more of teams going long to get out of the high press and therefore giving them better chances at getting DEFCON. Come back on now, Shane. We're done.
I've been liking the old school long throw. Do you know what I mean? Bringing it back in. I have been liking that, mate. It's throwback to the old ages, especially when you see like we've got Jacques in there, the old and bold. I feel like I'm back in 2006, mate, 2007.
Yeah,
so
but
it's good.
It's going to exist for not that long, right? Like part of the reason why is, when's the last time you saw long throws happening at this frequency?
Oh, Stoke days, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't see many teams doing it, right? So if you were a coach and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in, what are you coaching your players normally to do in normal training if you're defending against the throw? Just mark the players around you, right? They're not practicing how to defend against a long throw. Now they're going to start practicing on how to defend from a long throw. So I think it's one of those where every defense at the moment is weak to a long throw because they don't practice it. But now everyone's doing the long throw. The defenses are going to start preparing for it. It's cycles, right?
Yeah.
It's cycles. You exploit the vulnerabilities of opposition.
Yeah, and if you didn't see the above average podcast, they were talking about it. Go and watch it. It's really, really good listen, especially with the international break. A good filler, if you will. Good stocking filler. It was really good listen, and it makes you think, which is good. I like things that make me think. Not too hard because that hurts my head, but I do like things. Right, Veterans Vision. Do you know what, Kieran? I'm just going to remove you just to give me the stage a little bit. Is that all right with yourself? Is that okay with you? Don't get that away. So it's time for Veterans Vision. Listen, I like looking at things that no one else is looking at. For instance, I've had Ezzy for a few weeks now, and people are coming round to the idea. And what I want to talk about this week is squads and fixtures. Very, very important to me in terms of pre-season, middle season, even post-season for next year, and predicting the trends. Now, everyone's on Palace, even me. I've got 3 Palace. Most people probably got 3 or 2 Palace. But is this the time that we should be tripling up or looking at moving? Now, we always want to go for teams that are on the up, okay? But with the up, there must always be a down. Must always be a downfall. And for me, I think that could be around the corner for Palace. Now, listen, we're not disputing that they are a good team. They've done fantastic. They've got a fantastic manager also. But if we look a little bit deeper and we look into the squad, this is their starting 11, essentially, okay? Decent starting 11. It's not too bad, okay? However, what we have to look at is the issue of fixtures. Now, Palace haven't had Europe for age. Oh, sorry, never had Europe. And now you're coming into a really, really busy run of games. And if we break down their fixtures, so they've got Bournemouth. Then 5 days later, they've got Larnaca. Now, okay, it doesn't seem too difficult, but Larnaca are also on 3 points, and Palace will want to get some more points on the board in that big league. They can start to kind of relax and change their players as the season progresses without falling down the standings. They're still going to qualify, first, or at least the top 6 that go through. 3 days later, Kieran, they've then got Arsenal away. Okay, so we'll go back to the top. Palace v Bournemouth will be full strength. Palace v Larnaca will be, I would say, about 80%, or their core 5 or 6 players. And by the core, I'm talking Pino, Guehi, Lacroix, Richards, Munoz, and probably Wharton, as well as the keeper Henderson. So that's at least 7 that are going to play the majority. Like I'm saying, back 3 days later, they play Arsenal away. That will be a full strength side. 3 days after that, they then play Liverpool away in the Cup, full strength side. 3 days after that, they play Palace at home. They play Brentford at home, London derby, full strength side. Then in the Conference League, they've got Alkmaar. Not the easiest game, not the hardest game, but it's still a difficult one that they have to navigate. It will be about an 80% strength side. And then 3 days later after that, they've got Brighton, full strength side. And talking of the squad, if we look on the right-hand side, that's their bench, Kieran. Okay, the bottom 3 on the right-hand side, that's injuries. Okay, so, all right, Doucouré's maybe in, the rest, not really. But look at that squad. Just look at that squad. I would argue that that's a relegation bench. Now, Palace are not going to get relegated. Of course not. However, the issue is the amount of games that they're going to play in the duration of time. Their form's been fantastic so far, but are there little chinks in the armour? Against Everton, they were 1-0 up. You'd expect Palace to shut that down away from home. They conceded a penalty, which was a little bit sloppy, a little bit tired, and then they went on to subsequently lose the game to Everton. So that's my point, really, Kieran. Are we about to see a little bit of a downfall, or not a downfall, but a downturn of Crystal Palace? And as I bring you back to the screen, Kieran, what do you think about that, mate? I think it's a great point.
I think you were very smart to remove me from the screen. I disagree. I think You've shown a bench from one of the games, right? You're missing out players like Daichi Kamada, like Tyreek Mitchell, like Romain Essa, right? Is it like there are other players that you've kind of left out of that, which are pretty big players. I think AEK Larnaca, I don't rate at all, right? They got battered in their last game 4-2 at home to Paphos, right? So I don't think you necessarily need that much strength for that one. I agree on the run of the Arsenal, Liverpool, Brentford. It's going to be tough, right? But the defenders are going to do well against Arsenal from a fantasy perspective. Against Brentford, we know what I think about Brentford, so I don't see that as an issue. And then they play Alkmaar, who, interestingly, the 3 points that Larnaca got was a 4-0 thrashing of Alkmaar. So if they beat Larnaca, they'll be pretty comfortable. And again, if you look at all of these, Bournemouth are a London club. Palace are a London club playing Bournemouth at home, Larnaca at home, Arsenal in London. They go into Liverpool, Brentford, and Alkmaar, all at home. So they've got one trip out of all of that to Liverpool. So I get your point, but I also think we've got to factor in that. Yeah, there is bias in here, PVR. You're right. That that the teams they're playing are also. Like Arsenal playing in the Champions League, Liverpool playing in the Champions League, right? So other teams are going to have busy fixture schedules too. Yes, they have deeper teams, but I think it's not as much of a concern. It's a slight concern, but I can see your point, and I agree that bench that you shared there is not an exciting bench at all. I don't know why the other ones like Kamada and Eza. It is Essa.
Yeah. He was in that starting 11, Commander. That's why that was the bench from that.
He was in
so
11.
He didn't start that. Yeah. So I mean, obviously you got Sarr back, but I think maybe like you're saying, you always calm me down, Kieran. So maybe I'm a little bit.
We also have to remember, boom, 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 got his French debut and scored on it.
He did, but he does he missed a lot of chances. Maybe for me, I think if I recoil back a little bit. we're going to keep the C-bit defenders. We're going to keep LaCroix. You know, if people got Guehi, Richards, but maybe it's more attacking wise. Now they've not scored too many goals this season. They've got some fairly hard fixtures coming up. Maybe we refrain from getting the attacking assets. So for me, they're a no-go. They found it hard to score quite a few goals, and they've not scored many. Yes, you know, Mateta, he was in the French squad, and he did score for them. It's good to see. Great to see, you know, a player come from the depths up to the French squad. That's fantastic to see. But I just think probably more Palace attack we would refrain from and keep the defenders.
Yeah, exactly that. I think they'll get tired. And tiredness probably, like, Munoz won't get tired, right? We just know that Munoz is an engine.
He's a unit, mate. He's a unit. Yeah, but you nice bang on, mate. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I think Triggs is spot on there. They will get tired, but I think that probably favours the defenders, because one thing that Glasner's really good at is having a really strong, solid foundation. So I think it'll be one where, yeah, you can't get more DEFCON points, unfortunately. But I still think they'll keep it relatively tight. Yes, we expect them to lose against Arsenal. It's interesting. Yeah, what are the games after that? I guess it's the ones after that I'm more interested in.
They've got Brighton. They've got Brighton 3 days after that.
At home, and then Wolves, and then Strasbourg and United. I think it's more around that period.
There's a big break.
It's a 3-week break again, isn't there?
Yeah. So after that run, you know, it's quite a convoluted run. And don't get me wrong, listen, it's Glasnow's still a good coach, he's still got a good team, but I think there might be a little surprise in there, you know, especially after the Liverpool, and they want to get far in the
cup. I think the Brighton game's more concerning for me, because that Alkmaar game's 5 days after Brentford. Yeah, and then the Brighton game is 3 days after.
So, I mean, obviously, you don't expect. I mean, I expect Arsenal to. That's just maybe the thing, though. I expect Arsenal to win a little bit better than what people would think against Palace. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think it might be like a 1-0, 2-0 max. I think there might be maybe a few more goals in there, and maybe the Brentford at home, mate. That might be a little bit of a potato skin, just like potato skin, a banana skin, potato skin. Jesus. Like Com says, Larnaca sounds Scottish. It does. It does sound Scottish. Reedy, how are you doing, mate? Long time no see. Hope you're well. But yeah. I think I've got a point there. You've pulled me back, and you give me some common sense in there. So I think there's maybe an in between. But that was something we've seen for the vision. Something else we've seen is scores, mate. So scores on the doors. Getting good at adding these up now. You closed the gap actually last week. You got like 50 points. I mean, you smashed it. You got 2 fixtures right. So you're 25 points. This week, this week, Shane's pulled out in front. If you've noticed
go back. Your maths is wrong, surely. Because how can we go forward again? So I've gone from 130 to 155 with 3 correct scores. And you got the same amount of correct scores. So how can you improve like my 25?
The scores are here. So you got 1, 2, 3. You got 5 correct predictions, which is 25 points. Whereas Shane, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct predictions and the correct score, which is an extra 15 points, which is 45 points. So
this is our total correct scores in the entire season. Yes. We've only got 3 each.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
That's maybe awful. We need to take that graphic off.
Although I thought that was in the week. No, you need to change it to how many correct scores we get in the week, Shane. We cannot have that up here. We are losing views.
Well, actually, you say that, I was 1 goal away in 4 fixtures. I mean, I still got it wrong, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway,
1 goal away. The fixtures. Right. So was I. You know those results I got wrong where I predicted a draw? I was 1 goal away, Shane, from the right result.
That's what I always say. You know, we're putting a wee flutter, a wee £5. I was 3 games away from making this. We're all like that, mate. Yes, Jackie, best week for 4 for her. 4 scores and 3 results. This is why we need to listen to Jackie more. Do you know what I mean? I think I might just copy Jackie this week. I'll put that up. Any questions, guys and girls? We will queue them. I'm getting near the end. We might take a few as we go along. Com says, hey, Reedy, Addicts on Friday. Yeah, if you've not checked out Reading Shadow Addicts, FPL Addicts, go and do it. It's fantastic. Anyway, I'll glaze over that Shane's way up front on the scores, although I'd be rather be winning at FPL. We'll come on to the predictions for this week then, mate. So I'll let you start, mate. No early game. Well, no Friday game. Straight into Saturday, 12:30. Forest v Chelsea. I see this going one way. What way do you see this going, Kieran?
Oh, I haven't even thought about these things yet. Forest v Chelsea. Right, remind yourself, Kieran. It's Ange at Forest. Cool.
Yep.
And that's another interesting thing, right? People are either selling or buying João Pedro at the moment.
Maybe this guy.
And it's really interesting when you get people doing both, right? Because you get some seeing he's blanked for a number of weeks, and you get some seeing the upcoming fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
For me, João Pedro as an asset depends on if he's the striker or not. Because interestingly, I believe, and the games and results back up, that he is less prolific as a striker than he is the 10. So the majority of his goals came when he was playing behind Delap, right, as the 10. Since he's been playing striker, Enzo started to get the goals he's playing as a 10. So yeah, I really like Enzo. He's in my thinking for this week more than João Pedro is, because why would you want two strikers? That's mental. You then can't have a 5 and 4. Like, it doesn't work. You can't have 5-4-2. Mental. So I still think, regardless of that, result-wise, I see this being 12:30 kickoff.
Pen started.
It's either 2-0 Chelsea or 2-1
it's an early
Chelsea.
kickoff, yeah. Or what, 2-0?
2-1. I'm going to go with the 2-1 Chelsea.
Well, it's funny you should say that. There's a lot of people in the chat that said that. Colm said that. Ahmed said that. Jackie said 2-0 Chelsea. So everyone's thinking it's quite quick. It's going to be quite close. By the way, if you're playing along, put your predictions in there. And while you're doing your predictions, just do the little like button. It helps us out. I don't think it'll be close at all, mate. I think this could be the end of Ange already. Apparently, Marinakis is already sniffing around Silva. So that's not good already. What is he, 8 games in? It's not going to help things. He's at home, which doesn't help him because he has to play his attacking style. He can't go back on that because he said it so much in the media again and again and again. It doesn't change his style. The only other home game, I think maybe they had 2 home games. One of them was in Europe when he was 2-0 up and they got beat 3-2. So I don't think it's going to be good for them. I am going to go 4-0. I'm doing it. I'm going 4-0.
Just like Thomas. Thomas thinks 4-0 or maybe 6-0.
It could be. It's an interesting thing. We were speaking offline before about Pedro as the 10 or the striker. Treg is a big Chelsea fan. He thinks Gueye will start this week. He thinks he's going to get a start and Pedro start as the 10 and Enzo obviously slightly further back. Well, I mean, listen, he was Barca youth, and when he's on the ball, he does look quality without much output just now, if that makes sense. So, Sandri, sweet, nothing's really cured that, mate. It's 4-0, João Pedro hat-trick. For me, I can't get Enzo, and we'll come to the team, but I have to have Chelsea coverage in that.
If João Pedro scores a hat-trick, I'll run a marathon on Sunday. I won't. I can't run at the moment.
Do you know what's funny? There's more chance of João Pedro scoring a hat-trick than DCL scoring 1 this weekend. And that's a fact. Right, okay, on to Bournemouth. Newcastle, I'll go first. You went first last time.
Bournemouth, Newcastle. Shane, you're reading off a screen here and you read Brighton and Hove Albion and Bournemouth.
God, that's a flustered we are. Brighton, Newcastle. Brighton are, like I said in my Game Week 1-7 review when we done Brighton, a little bit chalk and cheese. Brighton at home and away. At home, they beat City. Away, they've been struggling against Wolves and the likes like that. I think it's been a long time coming. I don't think Brighton... Well, they've been getting too many results at home. If you go and look at the fixtures and the results, they've done really, really well at home, and I think that's about to come to an end. Newcastle, very, very good defensively. I think they're going to get a little bit more output in terms of attack. Brighton always score and they always concede, don't they? But I think this game is going to maybe show them a little bit weak at times. I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle, mate. What are you going for?
Yeah.
What have we got in the chat, guys and girls? Colm's gone 1-1. Who's gone for a tight affair?
I think
Sandri. Is that 2-1 Brighton, Sandri?
I think I'm going to go with a Desmond.
A little 2-2.
Yeah.
Jackie's gone 2-0, which yeah, Jackie's gone 2-0, Newcastle, which they're away from home. Yeah, it's not a bad show, actually. Thomas has gone 3-2 Newcastle. Newcastle clean sheet from Ahmed, and Paul has gone 2-1 Newcastle. What did you go for there, sorry?
2-2.
Little Desi. Right, on to the next one, Burnley Leeds. I will let you take the reign on this, and then I'll obviously come in with a certain striker chat.
0-0.
Really?
Yeah.
0-0. Okay.
0-0. Well, look, this is the Burnley team that beat Sunderland 2-0 at home. It's a Burnley team that only lost 1-0 to Liverpool at home, and a Burnley team that drew 1-1 with, yes, a shocking Forest. But again, they've conceded a maximum of 1 goal in each. They've conceded 2 goals in 3 home games. On the flip side, Leeds failed to score against Arsenal and Fulham, and then smashed Wolves. So they scored 3 in 3, but all of them were against Wolves. So yeah, I just think it's one of those that can be. Yeah, maybe there'll be a goal to one of the teams, but I can't guess which. I'm just going to go with the 0-0.
No, that's quite right. Colm's going to draw as well. He's gone 1-1. Sandri has gone 1-0 Burnley, which, hey, they had a fantastic home record last year and not bad this year. Thomas has gone a little bit outrageous. He's gone 4-1. Maybe he owns
Thomas
DCL.
He's been craving for football to come back in, and he's looking for match of the day already. We are we're 3 games into it, and Thomas has predicted a 6-0, a 3-2, and a 4-1. He is on for the best game week ever, match of the day wise.
Do you know what? We'll have to. I always like looking back at last season, and maybe the amount of goals after an international break are a little bit higher. Who knows? I don't
think you're going to get. Maybe, but I don't think there's going to be 16 goals in the first 3 games of the game week.
Oh, come on. We can dream. I have a dream. You said it before. I have a dream. Paul's gone 1-0 Burnley. Jackie's gone 1-0 Burnley. We should be listening to these. And that makes me wonder, right? In fact, I don't wonder. I know what the reason is, Kieran. Why do you think people are going for a certain lead striker who cannot finish his dinner, hasn't been a good player for years, always been injury prone? Why do you think is the sole reason people are going for him, Kieran? Because I know the answer.
Well, no, I've heard a few different people talk about it. I've heard it from some people that I know rely on algorithms and what it says.
Yep.
And I know some people who are very smart and think for themselves. And the algorithm's going to like it because at his price point, he's going to be good value at 5.5, and he's right. The algorithm doesn't appreciate that he isn't that great at shooting in general.
Yeah. Which is always a good thing to have for a striker, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm hearing rumours that some people think he could be on penalties for them, which they'd have to get a penalty for that to happen, right?
Yeah, good point. You'd have to get the box a lot more to get a penalty, yeah.
But then I've heard from, I don't know, I was halfway through listening to FPL Wire and I want to go back to it because Late Riser likes him and thinks there's some... I disagree with them. But I'm always open to hearing the reasoning because Late Riser's coming at it with his own reasoning. So I need to go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
It's not because the algorithm said. But yeah, I agree with you. I imagine we're in the same boat here. Sure, he's cheap. He's 5.5 million. He's worth his value. Right. Every defender at 5.5 million and some at 4.5 million and some at 4 million are going to outscore him and be more consistent and more reliable. And people are still playing like a 3-5-2 and with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Just play a 4th defender, for God's sake.
I agree, mate. Kieran, absolutely agree. We've been chatting all international break how strong and overpowered or OP'd, how the kids say, the defenders are. So why would you then take the risk with a striker who can't finish his dinner? Leeds don't score many goals. They play away to Burnley, who are pretty good defensively at home, even in the Prem this season. I do not understand it. The only reason is for FPL review or solo or whatever. People, even if you put them in your team, just practice, put them in your team, go into your draft, do the transfer, and you've got a draft with Haaland next to DCL. It does not look right. And I think we've become with the rise of AI, Kieran, we've become there's a little bit of an impasse here. You're not going to win FPL by just sticking to trends. I'd say to the masses, think for yourself a little bit and go on your gut instinct, because If he doesn't bang and you go, oh, I brought him in because of that said, then you knew that deep down. So just follow your instinct. For me, I can't believe. I think it's a little bit of farming, really, on the account of some content creators, not loads, but yeah, it doesn't help the idea that some content creators just talk or just push out what comes off a review in solo. I don't think I would rather take him down to Obi for 4.3 and reinvest into the midfield. Saka's coming back. Fernandes might get a return at the weekend, and then go from there. And you got to remember as well, Kieran, Liverpool. Isaac's coming back, so people are going to want to unlock funds from them. You went
So what's
0-0.
your prediction for it?
Yeah. So basically, my prediction. I was going to go both score, to be honest. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 in this. A tight affair, but I'm going to go for a 1-1.
You also did a stream with Steve-O, didn't you, before the break?
Yes, the FD
So
article.
I'm going to do a Steve-O to you. So they were in the same division last year, Burnley and Leeds, right, Shane?
Yes, they were, yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon the score was at Burnley?
Good point. 0-0, was it?
Yep. What do you reckon the score was at Leeds?
Oh, it's good. 0-0.
I'll give you a clue here. Look, Thomas has put it there. Burnley actually got a red card at Leeds.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think the score was, sorry? 1-0 Burnley.
I think I forgot that. I forgot to look at that.
Also, to clarify, Burnley got their player sent off in the 98th minute after 2 yellow cards in stoppage time. So that red card is completely meaningless. He got his first yellow in the 96th minute and his second in the 98th minute.
I mean, I think the main takeaway, we'll move on, but I think the main takeaway that over this international break, we've become delirious with the non-Premier League football, and people are overrating Leeds because they scored 3 goals against Wolves and they essentially gave them 2 goals. So just taper those expectations down, and I would just probably...
I'm also going to correct myself really quickly. That player didn't get 2 yellow cards. He got 1 in the 66th minute and 1 in the 98th. It was because someone else got booked there. Another thing I just want to share on this game, because you're spot on, Shane, 3-1 away at Wolves. They were 0-0 away at Newcastle. They won 1-0 at Everton. But they have scored. These are at home, sorry. They seem like home matters. Home does matter in these kind of games.
It does.
And I think that's the important thing. So look, we'll move past that one because we've spoken way too long about Burnley v Leeds. We're on to Palace Bournemouth, and you're up first. Palace Bournemouth. And Shane, aren't you sitting with 2 Palace defenders and 2 Bournemouth defenders?
I do. I do. It's difficult. I never like players. I don't think any manager likes players playing each other. I always like to make, unless we think it's going to be like a draw, maybe like a Leeds Burnley, you got defenders. I always like to go with what I'm thinking and back that decision. You know what I mean? One team to win or do well. This is a tough one. Like I said before, the run for Palace does get difficult. They are going to get tired. However, they come back after the international break. They'll have a full strength side. It will be hard for Bournemouth. I do think they do scrape it through with the way Bournemouth have been playing, though. And I'm going to go 1-0 Bournemouth. What are you going for? Thomas is going for 2-2, a little Desi. Oh, Com's going for a Desi as well. Jackie's going for a Desi. This is getting out of hand, Kieran. I like this.
I'm going to go with a 1-1. I don't think
you wanted to do a Desmond there, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No, that was out of the question. I was going to go with a 1-0 Bournemouth as well because they always score away. I want to go with a 0-0 because that's what I want to happen. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we won loads of them.
And typically they do tend to have like 0-0s and 1-0s between them. So I think you've got a good score there. But for the sake of being different, I'll go with 1-1.
Cool. Okay, then on to City, Everton, and Europe. Even Sandry's gone for a Desmond. I hope that game's a Desmond now. City, Everton, mate, on you. 3 o'clock, second 3 o'clock kickoff at City. What do we think?
The full 3 o'clock kickoff.
Sorry, fourth one. Sorry, yeah. Delirious.
Everton away to City. I'm hoping that City start to come to life at home. I know they've been okay, right? But it's Burnley and United that they've done well against, and Wolves. So there is always context about who they've scored the majority of the goals against. Everton are better defensively than all of those teams. So I don't think it'll be quite as much of a battering. I think Everton are smart enough. I think 2-1 City because I don't know. I just always think City will concede still.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, I'm pretty made up on this. I don't. I think it'll be City just basically battering Everton for the time. Jack Grealish can't play because obviously he's on loan. A huge outlet,
True.
a big ball carrier. If someone's going to win a pen, he's going to win the
But
pen.
that'll bring KDH up in the forefront more, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I know what you mean. Like City have been. I think that's why they don't win the title this year because they've been too leaky. But they're at home. I think they dominate. Mikalenko's been pretty poor recently as well. People are talking about Coleman coming back for some reason. I don't know if you're an Everton fan. Let us know. I don't think Coleman's going to come in. I know he played some minutes for Ireland in the break, but what we've got to remember as well, Kieran, this might change your score. Michael Keane will be playing against Haaland. Michael Keane.
Defcon.
Yeah, I mean, Defcon. I'm thinking more Haaland con of smashing goals in and ripping them apart. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's highly possible. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a bit of a baron. Colm's going 2-1. Sandri's going 2-0. Gvardiol assist. I like it. We're predicting right down to the player. Thomas has gone 4-1. I hope every single game of Thomas's comes in, mate, because he's got like 4-1, 6-0. Jackie's gone 3-0. And do you know what? We said we need to start listening to Jackie. 3-0. I'm going to agree with Jackie. I am. I'm going to go 3-0 City. And it could be a 3-0. It could be a Haaland hat-trick, hopefully.
I'm going to start the clock on the next one, Shane. Because we spent too long on the Burnley Leeds game. I'm definitely starting the clock because we can't spend more than 30 seconds on Sunderland Wolves. Go.
I was just going to come up with the score. Sunderland Wolves 2-2. Desi.
Cool. I'll go 2-0 Sunderland.
Ooh. 2-0, eh?
What I will say, actually, I'm going to go for... No, we'll wait until we come on to teams. Cool, perfect.
Okay, Fulham Arsenal. It's you first. I'll give you 45 seconds for this because it's your team. Go.
Fulham are shocking against the attacking midfielder, and Eza is unfortunately going to haul. Well, I say unfortunately because you're going to be really smug. Even though I bring him in when he then gets the haul, you're going to go, you're copying me again now, donkey.
That's good.
I haven't yet. I'm going to go with a 4-1.
4-1. Okay. I am going to go 4-0 Arsenal. I think it's domination. Essie's got a really good record against Fulham. Fulham were lucky to score the other day. They shouldn't have. They offered nothing. The strikers are still out. I think this is a game too far for Fulham. And we start looking at the squad and going, do you know what? Fulham aren't as good as what we thought. On to me now then. It's the first one on Sunday. So that's Tottenham v
Just
Villa.
Quickly, did you know Fulham have only failed to score in one game this season?
Oh, really? Well, they're about to fail in 2. Clip that. Only clip it was right. Yeah, Paul's gone 4-1, same as you, mate. Gabriel and Zubamendi. I like it. I think Eze is going to have a field day. It's been coming. Yeah, Tottenham Villa, first game on Sunday. It's actually quite a tough one to call. As Com says, I have feelings. I'm sorry, Com. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a tough one to call. Villa have at least been scoring goals. Tottenham have been conceding a few more recently. However, I think it'd be another tight affair, and I do think they concede though. I think I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1, mate.
Fair.
What do you think?
I'm going to go 2-1 Villa.
Ooh, sneaky Villa. Eh?
Well, it's just I don't know. I feel as if Villa. Yes, it's Burnley and Fulham. Like playing Fulham's always good to turn your bad form around. But I don't know. I think this break's going to have been good for Villa. I think the international break's going to have been good for them.
Reassimilate, and that's what I like, really. Jackie's gone 2-0 Spurs. Thomas has gone 3-1. Sandri's gone same as you, mate. 2-1 Villa. On the next one, then Liverpool United, and you are up first. I get a little bit more thinking time.
Liverpool United is hopefully the game of the weekend, right? It's
4:30
on a Sunday. It's prime time. I think both teams score in this game. I think Liverpool bounced back from losing to Chelsea.
Yep.
And Liverpool are like such a different team at home compared to away from home.
They are. Yeah.
Such a different animal. And United are pretty awful away from home. So I'll go with a 3-1 Liverpool.
Cayman's in chat, mate. How you doing? If you don't watch Thinking Cap, go and watch him. Fantastic. Been smashing over this international break. Salah cap. So Cayman owns Salah, and everyone talks about Salah's record against United, and he might get a little bit of form this week. Cap, I'm not so sure. I don't think I could trust him, especially with Everton against the beast, Haaland. I think it'll be bigger than that, mate. Do I think Liverpool concede? United are good for the goal and they've been setting up well. Do you know what? No, I'm not going to go for it. However, I am going to go for 4-0 Liverpool. And the reason for that, Gakpo's fine international. Verts actually played all right. He didn't really score anything, but he played all right. Better than's been playing. Isaac's had time now to reassimilate back into the squad. I think you're going to see reaction from those 3 game weeks or those 3 games they lost on the spin. And United are going to be at the hands of it, and it could mean that Amarin's done. He's done and dusted, mate. I'm going to go 4-0. Last one then is West Ham Brentford, which is on Monday, isn't it? A little Monday night game.
What? But why? Why is this game on? Like, before we even get into it, Shane.
Why is it on Monday?
Well, but why is this a televised game? Of all the games, we have a team that's lost every home game against a team that's lost every away game. How is this the game that you save for Monday?
You'll be watching then, Kieran, I take it.
Probably.
I don't know.
There's no traitors on a Monday, Shane. There's no traitors on a Monday.
So there you go. There's a chance. Listen, it'd be interesting to see how West Ham set up now that Nuno's he's had time with the squad. It'll be his kind of first real game with the squad. I'll be keeping an eye on Juve. Definitely keeping an eye on Juve to see if he's an upcoming pick. Brentford, though, I still think Brentford are good in terms of score. Nuno's going to want to keep it close. Yeah, actually, I've just looked up and I've seen Gamer Gaming 2027. I think I have to agree with them. I think I'm going to go 1-1, mate.
I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 West Ham. What did you go in Man United? Sorry, I didn't write it down.
I went with 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool.
See, this is how you're ahead of me, Shane. You don't write my answers down.
Hey, I've been double checking. Yeah, just like that, but double checking. Paul's gone 1-0 West Ham. Not on my name's gone another Desmond. Thomas has gone 4-0 Brentford. I hope Thomas is. I hope that comes in because then you'll have to say that you change your stance on Brentford. You'll have to. Sandra says 3-1.
I'll never change my stance.
Never. 3-1 Bowen hat trick. Colm says 2-1 Brentford. Yes, Colm. Yes. Or maybe he's trying to get back at you for the Fulham diss. Thomas says match of the day in my world is going to be amazing. Well, it is. And talking of match of the day, we do need to do another match of the day, live stream. That'd be good. Cool. Well, that's the predictions. Now on to the teams. We're actually keeping this close to the hour this time, Kieran. Maybe we should be flustered when we come on all the time. Well, after the teams, we'll do the questions. So drop any questions in just now. We'll start them and we'll answer them at the end for you. Your team's on the board, Kieran. Tell the masses what your team is, what moves you're thinking of.
Well, so at the moment, the team is still exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Okay.
I like quite a few players this week. I like Eza. I like Timber. I like Paqueta. I like Bowen. I like Enzo. I like Jaden Anthony, although he might be injured. I like Juve.
You like DCL?
No. I like Juve. I like Mukiele.
Yes.
Now, Mukiele is one that really intrigues me because, I think what a lot of people do is, if you're going to look at sort of a 4 million one, and from Sunderland in particular, Alderete, he's got the most points out of them.
He does.
He's played 7 games, hasn't he? Alderete. And let me just have a quick check on the app. I will talk whilst I'm doing. So I should have just got you to talk instead, Shane, while I was checking.
No, I'll talk. Combs, you have a gander that. Combs put a good point in there, and this is why I think Arsenal are going to batter Fulham. They're rubbish anyway, and Lukic is out, who offers huge protection for the back line, which isn't the best as it is. So for me, that's the reason why Arsenal are going to absolutely batter Fulham. And now Kieran's ready.
Look, Alderete has way more points than I thought he does.
Yeah, he does.
That 17-point haul, right? Like that haul is incredible. So he's on 39, but I still like Mukiele because he's on 27 and he's only played 5 games for them. He started in game week 3, having made the transfer from, I want to say PSG. I think he came from PSG. Was it PSG last or was it Leverkusen?
I'm sure
Leverkusen.
it was
Leverkusen.
He was there before, though, wasn't he, Mukiele?
Yeah. So he began his career at Strasbourg and then joined. I can't remember who he joined, but he was at Leipzig for a number of seasons. Then he went to PSG and then he went to Leverkusen. Now at Leverkusen, he got 2 goals and 1 assist in 24 games. At PSG, he got 4 assists in 45 games. Leipzig, he got 9 goals and 6 assists in like 100 odd games. So again, he's not prolific, but he's a 1 in 10 attack and return type of player, if not like sort of 1 in 8.
Yeah.
And he is an absolute DEFCON beast in comparison. So I think Alderete gets you hauls. I think Mukiele gets you just nice, consistent points. And he's 4 million, so he's slightly cheaper. So I am considering him as my option. I was going to get rid of Bruno. Like, players that are on the chopping board are Bruno. I'm going to keep holding on Gakpo because I like Liverpool's fixture swing.
Who were you thinking? Sorry, Kieran. Who were you thinking of getting for Mukiele? Sorry.
Well, there we are. So that's going to be for Big Virgil.
Yeah.
So 2 million into my back pocket. I've got 0.1 million in the bank. So I could do pretty much anything. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of Jorginho Rutter finally and bring in Eza. So I'm looking most likely to be doing Eza and Mukiele in for Virgil and Jorginho. I'll then probably bench one of my 3 Palace and Bournemouth defenders. I don't know which one yet. It won't be Fizzy Water, obviously, and it probably won't be Munoz. So I guess by default, that's probably Senesi that I might end up benching. I've got.
I'd be thinking. Yeah, go on.
I've got Dubravka in goal this week, so actually maybe I put Petrovic in goal to cover that off. I don't know. There's lots to do, but I think I'm going to be playing a 4-5-1 this week, Shane. So breaking news, I'm going to be switching from 5-4-1 to 4-5-1, and therefore my team in theory will probably be Dubravka in goal, Mukiele, Gabriel, Lacroix and Senesi. Screw it, we're going to bench Munoz in my mind for a second. Then the midfield will be Eze, Gakpo, Bruno, Saka, Semenyo, and then Erling up top. That's the most likely. That is subject to change. I might make no moves and keep with this team. I seriously don't know. Like, wildcard is still in hand. We're sitting around we're sitting at 400k pretty much exactly. So yeah,
you're smashing it, man.
I'll just have a think about it.
You're smashing it, like you're saying. We might be the highest duo. Might be the highest duo, mate. Hopefully, we'll have to check it. Kind of on average.
Where are you at the moment? You're like 1 mil, right?
Just over 1 point, just above 1.3, literally 1.3 on the nose.
And you're only like 26 or 27 points behind me, so it really is close for anyone who's going, oh, my rank's awful. Look, we're not going to talk about our ranks much. I'm just going to keep saying it while I'm ahead of Shane because it's fun.
Hey, you'll probably stay there. Hi, Malcolm. How you doing, mate? He's just coming in at the vital time for him for the Sunderland chat. Yeah,
what do you think as well, Malcolm? Like, if you were going to pick between Alderete and Mukiele from an FPL perspective, with Mukiele, DEFCON, consistent, decent fixtures coming up, and he does have attacking threat. Problem is, he takes your long throws, and you're not going to get an assist from a long throw very often. It's going to be knocked on to someone else.
What I will say, Kieran, is Alderete came off in the international break, so people think he's injured. I mean, we won't know till tomorrow.
Yeah, but apparently the coach said something today. The coach said something today about him being fine as well.
Be fine. Yeah, he might be fine.
The mad thing is, I think I'm going to end up still playing Mukiele week in, week out, because I don't want to move away from 5 at the back. He's coming into play.
And that's the thing, like, it's hard to change our preconceptions. We thought Sunderland weren't very good at the start of the season. Okay, they're still maybe not the best team in the Prem, clearly, but they're a lot better than what we thought. I think you're right. I've got the same kind of thing with you this week, mate. We own, I think, pretty much the same Palace and Bournemouth double ups, and it's hard to choose. For me, I'm going to bench Munoz as well, coming to my team, but I think it's a good team, mate. I think I love the Eze Saka double up. I really do. I love it, and I can't get to Saka this week. If I could, I'd make that move straight away. If I still had Bruno, he'd be gone. The only make weight for me, which was him in the Semenyo, which I have thought about.
Bruno's sticking for it, but Bruno's just sticking because Amram's going to be fine and Bruno will be good.
Do you think? Oh,
I'm still fine with him in there. Like, again, I just have a feeling he gets something this week, so that's why I don't want to get rid of him. He probably is the one I get rid of next week, but by doing the moves I do, it means that I don't have much money in the bank, but I've got lots of assets that I can drop down from still. So it gives me a bit of flexibility. I do want to point out that we have been corrected the best duo out there in terms of content, work ethic, production in Suji and James at Planet are both around 500k. So we will happily be the second best.
I'll take second.
Shane, mate, it's you, right? I'm above them.
I know.
Like, what are you doing? Pull your finger out.
Nightmare, mate. Nightmare. Oh, this week when Ezzy bangs, mate, I'll be back up there. But yeah, I'll take second there. But no, you set up really well, like you're saying. Yeah, it's good. The Virgil out. I'm coming to mine. I've already taken him out. I think it's fine. And again, to take Fernandez out to put another player in, I'm not quite sure. Would I swap him for Ezzy? I think I would, but that's just me. I don't want to tempt you. On to my team. We've kind of got the same backline. We were saying I was flitting between the Tottenham and the Bournemouth defence. For on the podcast, I've got a double up of Petrovic and Senesi for Bournemouth defence. I've got Munoz, Pedro Porro, Gabriel for back four. A midfield five of Eze, Reinders, Gordon, Gakpo, and Semenyo, and then up top Haaland. On the bench, I've got Vicario, bit of a more expensive second keeper, Lacroix, Richarlison, and Mark Guay. In terms of moves, I made one at the start of the international break, and I swapped Van Dijk for Gabriel. I should have done it 2 game weeks ago, and I didn't. I thought, you know what, I'm going to swap Van Dijk for Gabriel and bring him in against Newcastle. Yeah, maybe should have went through with that, but alas, we didn't. So he's already gone. That's one free transfer. I've got one remaining, mate, and I'm pretty set that Richarlison is going to go for Pedro. I really want Chelsea coverage. If my midfield wasn't as good as it is, I'd probably get Enzo in there. But I need Chelsea coverage. So I think that's what I'm going to do. The only issue for me, Kieran, is who am I going to take out at the back line? Mm-hmm. And for me, I think I'm going to take Munoz out. I like the Porro against Villa a little bit more at home than the Munoz at home against Bournemouth. He doesn't he doesn't get as forward as much. He's still very, very high at home, but not as much as away. So yeah, I think he's going to come out. And in the future, as we're looking up, Porro's 5.5, Munoz is 5.5. So a kind of a few moves that I've got in the fire is Porro out and Munoz out. Hopefully, we're going to get what's his name? 4.3 West Ham wingback. Juve. I'm going to get Juve for one of them. Save a little bit of money, and then I'm going to get Saka in there and swap Mark Guay finally. Mark Guay finally. But yeah, the only move to get Saka in, mate, is Semenyo, and it is risky. I have thought about it. I'm not sure. The only thing with Semenyo, Bournemouth, he's got Palace this week, which is difficult. Then he's got Forest, which isn't very difficult. And then he's got City, which is difficult. So I don't know. I'm still kind of 50-50 whether I'm going to take Semenyo out. And I know people are going, that's crazy. But just like I'm saying about Palace, we never look at players of taking in or out until they start performing or don't perform. And this is maybe one time where, I'd want a higher ceiling, really, mate. But yeah, I think we're set up pretty well, mate.
You're talking about high ceilings and you're playing Anthony Gordon. Like, come on now.
Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't really do business against Forest. I thought it was going to be a bloodbath. Went for the ceiling. I mean, if he's still on the pitch, he scores that penalty, people are looking at him. They will look at him.
Yeah, but the problem is he's not still going to be on the pitch, is he? He's going to be subbed off very frequently, and 90 minutes is massive. And I'm also not talking to you if you're going to bench Fizzy Water. Like, we can't be friends. We're not going to talk this weekend.
Well, who would you play Lacroix over of those three? So I'll be playing Senesi, Gabriel, and Porro.
But what do you go for the Bournemouth game?
For the score?
Yeah.
I went 1-0 Bournemouth.
So why are you playing Munoz over Lacroix?
No, I'm not. No, that's just I've changed my mind since then. So it'll be a back three of Porro, Senesi, and Gabriel, and Munoz for Pedro. Yeah, for Pedro. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. That makes sense. Sorry. Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's what I was getting lost in it, because that's what I was thinking. Like starting Munoz over Lacroix, if you thought it'd be 1-0, would be mental, right? Because only one of those two can get DEFCON, and like it ain't Munoz. And if you don't think they're scoring, but no, that makes sense. If you bench both of them, that's fine. If you see it as 1-0, that's fine. So yeah, I like your moves. I guess my only concern is if you're bringing in João Pedro, you're never giving yourself an option to go to Vortamada, right? Because I don't see you going João Pedro, then Vortamada in close things. Like for me, I guess here's the question. Would you rather have Enzo and Vortamada or João Pedro and Anthony Gordon?
Probably Pedro and Gordon. And I tell you why.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Vortamada's he's a good player. He's done half decent at Newcastle, but he scored a penalty, which, all right, okay, it was a great penalty. Fantastic, right? Have a look. People need to have a look. What they'll do is they'll see the scoring, but, he scored for Germany. Go back and have a look at the actual goal he scored for Germany. He jumps up as a cross. He mistimes it. He goes to header it, completely misses it, and it comes off his shoulder and goes in. Now, listen, you take the luck when you've got it, but I think everyone are going quite OTT on there, and I think Andrew, obviously he's a Newcastle fan, so he's going to want to go mad on him. I don't really see. Listen, he's a good player, but there's nothing that says to me I want to bring him in over the likes of Pedro or anything like that. I don't think he's going to be that prolific. His numbers, his last club wasn't that prolific. So I can take it or leave it. Just now, I'd rather have Gordon. When I look back at Gordon's record, he's always getting in there for assist at least, or maybe a goal. So I like it, mate. I like it. Thomas is pretty sure Pedro will outscore Walter Maddy over next year. I think he will, and it's more fixtures as well. Kieran, the Chelsea fixtures are really, really good. So I'm trying to build some more transfers again. Maybe get to 3, and then have a few in the bag to change.
Shall we have a? I think you and I are going to have to exchange some back and forth there. We're going to have a cheeky little forfeit on that. We'll do like next 4 game weeks, who does better, and we'll come up with some forfeit between the two of us. I think. There's one other thing I just wanted to say. And this probably should have been my discomfort zone because you kind of caught me off guard. It was too early into it. And
it was early, mate. We were flying in
it. The big questions I've been hearing people talk about is, do you go double Arsenal attack or double Arsenal defence?
Yes.
As someone who this season's different, and I do appreciate that. But my biggest concern when Arsenal play against supposedly weaker opposition is I think they are more susceptible to be lackadaisical around the back and take a few more risky passes and overcommit players a little bit more. And I see them I'm less confident of a clean sheet against easier opposition than I am if they're playing against a tougher side. Against tougher sides, I think the defence are completely switched on and they are the elite defence in Europe. And when they're switched on, they are almost whatever, it's hard to break down, right? It took a Liverpool free kick. And to kind of give an example of that, I'm just going to skip through some results from last season.
Because we were talking this game, weren't we? We were talking about this the other night, funnily enough.
Yeah, so we had last game of the season, Arsenal 2, Southampton 1. Right, Southampton, who were rock bottom, scored against Arsenal in the last game of the season. The game before that, Arsenal played Newcastle, who were pushing for Champions League spot, and Arsenal won 1-0.
Yep.
Arsenal lost 2-1 to Bournemouth. They drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace. They did batter Ipswich away 4-0. They drew 1-1 with Brentford. They drew 1-1 with Everton. They won 2-1 against Fulham. They won 1-0 against Chelsea, Shane. Another team that were pushing and doing quite well. So, and they drew 0-0 with Forest, a team that were pushing for Europe. So, again, and they lost 1-0 to West Ham. So the point more so is that Arsenal are a lot better this year. No doubt about it. The defence is different. Calafiori was injured last season. Timber was injured last season. But for me, it's double attack. With the fixture run, I'd rather be going for an attack than a defence if you're doing a double up at Arsenal.
Yeah, like we were chatting about, and I think pre-international break, like you're saying, everyone knew what they're going to do and stuff changed. And for me, I think Arsenal are going to maybe concede those 1 or 2 other goals that we wouldn't expect. Because, listen, they're a fantastic defence, but if they put 4 past Fulham, it's not going to matter if they concede 1, is it? And they're not going to be too bothered. Like you're saying, they'll be pushing
The
defenders.
defense will be fuming, and Riot will be fuming.
Yeah.
Well, when I say the defense, Calafiori won't be fuming because this guy's just hilarious and runs around the pitch.
And it's funny how FPL, listen, it changes week to week. You know, the meta the other week was Rhea and Gabrielle, and now those that have gone Rhea definitely wish. Do you know what? I wish I still had an Arsenal slot, because I agree with you. For me, and genuinely for me, I think Eze and Saka with Gabrielle, or even a Timber if you can't get to Gabrielle. Gokeres, I think it's a little bit too much just now, money wise. I'd rather go with the 0.9 and have
the only reason I'm not going Gokeres is because that would mean 2 strikers, man, and I can't be doing that this early in the season. No, I think Gokeres does well, but I'd agree with you at the price point. I get more. I'm getting more value and more flexibility by going Eza instead of Gokeres. There's ways that I've toyed with getting Gokeres into my team. I think he scores 25 goals in the Prem this season, and it's a matter of time. You don't play as the striker for an Arsenal team with players like Bukayo Saka, Eza, Martinelli, etc., feeding you the ball, Declan Rice feeding you the ball, and not scoring. We've seen it from multiple players. We all remember how long it took for Thierry Henry to score his first goal. I'm not comparing him to Thierry Henry. I'm just giving an example of arguably one of the best strikers the Premier League has seen, and it taken some time to get used to a system, a new manager, a new country. Well, not a new country he's lived in before, but more the intensity of the training. It's going to be different to anything he's been through. And there is elements of, a bit of lack of confidence until you get going. I think he could get a couple against Fulham, and then that would just open the floodgates. So I do think he's a good option for, if people have him. I've heard some people looking at taking him out, and I think that is very reactionary.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him out, because you're hoping that whoever you put in is going to outscore them by at least 4 points. It's roughly 4 points for a transfer. So I wouldn't be taking him out, not at all. I kind of hope he maybe scores 2, which you could easily do. I put on the stream with Andy when we done the game week 1 to 7. I talked about double Arsenal midfield, which is what I want to get to eventually. And the stat I looked up, Onions actually helped me. I didn't know you could check this on live, but Eze and Saka together as a combination in the elite managers are only owned by 0.1%. So if we're looking for opportunity, we want to get up the rankings. For me, there's an opportunity we can't turn around. And
that might have changed by deadline, right? But it will still be very low owned.
Yeah,
very
it will.
Low owned.
Yeah.
Right, shall we jump into the question, Shane?
That's it, mate. Hey, we're almost on time here. I tell you what, we'll start with Sandra, mate, because I asked it a few times. 3 free transfers, Kieran. My plan is Gokeres, Ndai, Tarkowski to Bowen, Sar, Gvardiol, and I will play the bench boost. What's your thoughts? So Gokeres out.
Ndai out.
Yeah, I mean that's it. He's playing City. Yeah.
No, but City concede goals from his side.
Yeah, granted. I just.
And did you see his goal? Did you see his goal in the qualifiers?
I didn't know. Good.
Oh, I'll send it to you after, mate. He ran through the entire squad. No, they were playing a pretty awful team, right? But again, it's a confidence thing. Tarkowski as well.
I wouldn't.
So my confusing thing here is like, is there enough value there to justify using all of your free transfers to then bench boost? Like, how much does Bowen outscore Gokeres by? I'm not sure. Does Sar outscore Ndai? I'm not sure. Gvardiol, if you think he's keeping a clean sheet, fair enough over Everton. Yeah, that one makes sense, right? And they're similar price points. But I don't think you necessarily need to do the other two. I think there's no. I don't know the rest of your team, Sandri. I don't disagree with any of the transfers, but I think it feels as if there's 2 Everton players, which is why you're not playing your bench boost, which is understandable. But I think that they're both decent assets, and I think there's a good opportunity possibly for later periods. One that I keep looking at is with these AFCON transfers and smart planning and the fixture runs for Liverpool and City and Newcastle during that, busy Christmas schedule. I think there's going to be a better opportunity for people to bench boost during those. Because could you imagine if you've got triple City, triple Newcastle, triple Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, etc., all playing, and because you've not used Salah money and because you've used your 5 AFCON transfers, yes, there's going to be rotation, but I think it's possibly a slightly better opportunity for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you're saying is that change? So he says he's got no money in the bank, which is fine. But he says, essentially, is that going to be the 3 on the right? Are they going to be 12 points ahead of the on the left? I don't think so. And they could get the same. If not, they could get more on the left. So Tarkowski, he's got a larger floor because he's playing City, so he's pretty nailed on to get DEFCON. So yeah, I would just a lot of people for me this year, Kieran, they're forcing the bench boost. We've got ages to play it. I've outlined maybe a few game weeks that I'm gonna play it, but I'm kind of just chill with it just now, to be honest. And if I see a week that looks good, I might play it. But no, I wouldn't change it, to be honest. I mean, Gokares against Fulham. Fulham are terrible. No, I wouldn't do that, Sandra. Ahmed says he's got bench boost left with 800. He's 860k. Thoughts? It's good rank, mate. It's good rank. Like I'm saying, just take your time on the bench boost, Kieran. You've still got yours, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm not going to be doing it until it feels right. I'm not going to try and force them. My concern is people using transfers for a bench boost for players that then are going to give you a benching headache later on.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, on to next. Would you bring in a player that has been away on international duty with the concern they may be benched or only for less than 60 minutes, or just roll? I just roll, mate.
It depends who the player is. Massively depends who the player is. If we're talking Enzo Fernandez, I'd be bringing him in. Like, I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever about Enzo's injury. Yep. To be honest with you, if we're talking Alderete,
bit more cautious.
Probably, yeah. So it depends on who you're looking at and what the potential upside is of bringing that player in if they do play.
Colm always makes a good point, though. Always. That's why he's here. It's an international break return. There's always going to be that one player at least that we go didn't even know he was injured or thought he would start. Yeah. So yeah, just if you're not any transfers in general, I would just trail. Colin, we've done that one. Thomas says, should I do Sar or Rice next week, or maybe Esteval? Kieran.
Since you're ask us next week, I'd say I'm not even focused on next week yet. I think the reality is another reason why I'm saying that and not just a cop out is there's so much more information we'll have off of this game week that Sar is probably the best priced attacking midfielder in the game. Like at his price point, he's probably one of the best values, like similar to Semenyo type of level because he is playing more as a striker. Esteval could be exciting, but again, we just don't know Palmer timelines as well and what the impact of everything around that is. So yeah, I'd come back and ask us next week when we've got more info.
Yeah, like you're saying, there's so much info we can get even for one game week, and our opinions change massively. Malcolm says, one free transfer. I wanted to play my bench boost, but I have Watkins and the Kuiper. Still got him. Was thinking selling Watkins to Isidore to afford Saka next week. I would just leave Watkins. He's playing Spurs, who are a bit leaky just now. I'd just leave him, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I'd wait until I've got 2 transfers next week to then see the best routes to bring Saka in. If it is still Watkins, great. But you're not going to be starting Isidore over Watkins, and whoever you want to bench, then just keep him.
No, and then lastly, we got Thomas. Who do you recommend for Ekitike? He is lined up to start on Fantasy Football Scout. I don't want Bowen, but considered Mateta, Isaac, and a few others. I mean, he's still got, it's hard to pick Liverpool just now. I've got Gakpo. He's the only one for me that I'd go out and get. I'd probably just roll. I'd probably just leave him. Kieran, what do you think? Ekitike, it's a difficult one. There's not many people with him, actually.
Yeah, Isak's not looked... Again, Isak's one where I don't think you need to get into him before he starts looking like Isak. I think he's one where you can wait for him to have a game where you go, Isak's back. He's now an asset, and then bring him in. So I wouldn't be desperate to sell Ekitike. Like I wouldn't be selling him for Mateta this week. I would consider selling him for Waltemada. You'd consider selling him for João Pedro. So I guess they'd be the other two that we throw in there. But personally, I'd agree with Shane. I'd just keep him.
Because you never know, he might smash it this week and we go, do you know what? Everyone is Ekitike. So yeah, just take your time. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your all your goals, Thomas. And reassess for next week. Right, Kieran. Listen, we've kept it almost close to the hour. We're getting close every single week. What I do want to say before we finish off, the support, I'm sure you agree, Kieran, the support recently has been absolutely fantastic. Pretty overwhelmed with it. It's really, really good. And the main thing is we're just enjoying it, mate. We're absolutely enjoying it. We're pumping out content, the content we enjoy. You know, it's not.
And I say as well, I know we've
pleasure.
had quite a few people on your X profile watching us along today, Shane. So to some of them that are watching, thanks for watching as well. We'd love to have you jump into the YouTube chat for next week's one.
Yeah, that's it. But for now, listen, everyone, enjoy Game Week 8. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the FDR decoder. We'll go through all the fixtures, a little running thoughts over the weekend, mate, and then we'll be back for team matchups next week. But for the meantime, have a great weekend. And Kieran, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.